Hello, and welcome to a special holiday episode of Clock the Tea with Dr. Long. This is your host, Mark Long, and you know I bring it to you every single time. Today, we're going to hop into some politics and end on a very, very positive note because 'tis the season to be fucking jolly. Well, this first part isn't too jolly. Let's talk about this. So, Nicki Minaj decided to attend a Turning Point USA event, and no one was really prepared for what we heard, but Nicki praised Trump and JD Vance, calling them role models. And she got tired of being pushed around, apparently, so she decided to lead more into other names, like calling Vance an assassin. And, Erica Kirk had to play a little bit of cleanup. Take a listen.
Well, I have the utmost respect and admiration for our president. He has, I don't know if he even knows this, but he's given so many people hope that there's a chance to beat the bad guys and to win and to do it with your head held high and your integrity intact. He's from Queens, New York, like me. So, but what it's shown me personally is sometimes, even in the worst feeling times in your life, you think that you're never going to come back from it. But you do. And our president shows that. He's been through.
So he's showing that because he's from Queens, New York? Okay, Nicki. I'm going to continue to let her go off, and then we're going to definitely talk about this. Because clearly she has woken up somewhere completely off kilter.
Understand what it feels like. That person is a human being. They have a family who has to read those lies. And that's not, and it's just not fair. But this administration is full of people with heart and soul. And they make me proud of them. Our vice president, he makes me, well, I love both of them. But they're both powerful men, smart, strong, all of that. But both of them have a very uncanny ability to be someone that you relate to. I can relate to them. When I hear them speak, I know that they're one of us. Like, I know that they're not. Don't you guys agree?
Absolutely not. And here's why I don't agree, Nicki Minaj. What the hell do you mean by you look at them and you can relate to them? Baby, I don't know who hit Nicki's head, but not all of us in this world are millionaires like you, baby. And another thing, you want to sit up on that stage with that hoodie hat on talking about what's going on with the president and how he's a great person. Girl, are you a great person? Because last time I checked, you decided to climb your ass over to the courthouse and marry a pedophile and then go overtime to try to protect him because he's your man. Girl, he's not our man. We don't have to like anything that you're doing. Another thing to shade your ass on. Girl, were you not rapping about eating box and playing within the LGBTQ plus community and living for the dolls? Well, newsflash to you, Nicki Minaj, the dolls have turned on you, and you should be absolutely ashamed of yourself. Let's really clock it, since you want to talk about being from Queens. The real struggle of Americans are those who have to struggle because of their circumstances and work extra hard the way that you did to get out of their circumstances. And you know what? Just because you made it to the top and you can pop off and talk your shit does not mean you can go on that stage and pretend like these people in this administration are great people because of what they're doing to marginalized groups. You should be ashamed of yourself. The LGBTQ plus community has kept you getting a check from the beginning, baby. It doesn't matter for when you started with Lil Wayne or anybody. We were there with you from the beginning because you were artistic. We looked at you as a role model because you represented something that we all saw in ourselves, the ability to be different. And now you want to sit up on this stage and act like you are the most conservative woman ever and acting like you care about children. Baby, if you cared about children, you would have let that nigga go who you decided to climb into the courthouse with and get hitched with, who was accused of sexual assault on a minor. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about Nicki Minaj, how you also decided that you wanted to talk about someone else's kids who are of color. Meanwhile, you're at this conference talking about how we need to accept white kids for who they are. Baby, there is no attack on white kids. I don't know who hit your head, baby, but just because you read the Bible and you think the Bible is law, don't let the Bible and Trump get you completely canceled. Oh, wait, that's too late. Nicki, you are done. We are not returning as fans of you. You can kiss your career goodbye. You can also kiss the fact that you are deciding to align yourself with a hate group organization that preaches hate towards children. Gender affirming care is not specific to medical treatment and surgery. It's about having parents be responsible for what that looks like. That's between the parents and their doctor and their kids. Stay y'all asses out of people's business and maybe you'll go to heaven. Maybe you'll go to heaven. Because right now, it's giving bottom feeder ass, sitting up there with collect the check CEO mama after her husband just got murdered. And she wants to sit up here and act like you both are besties when last time I checked, her husband talked mad dog about Nicki. So let's not do this. Let's not, try to make it seem like we're such good people with our millions of dollars and God this and Trump that. Girl, Trump doesn't care about you, baby. What he cares about is that black vote going into 2026 because he knows there are some stranglers in the black community that like to be hateful, just like you, Nicki. Just like you. And guess what? We already know they exist. And we don't have to associate ourselves with you, with this hate organization, or with any homophobic and transphobic people in our lives because guess what? This is America, baby. And whatever planet you're living on, go ahead and stay there. Because last time I checked, ain't nobody really checking for you. So that's what I have to say about that. I also want to talk a little bit about how she dropped the now infamous assassin comment about Vance. Was that an insinuation? Was that to troll people? Was that it? Nicki, we know what you're doing. We know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. We know what you're doing. Erica knows what you're doing. The world knows what you're doing. Hang it up. Get out of our face. Vance, you probably are part of making sure that Erica's husband got murdered. Since we want to talk conspiracy theories, all of y'all need to hang it up. Us in the middle of America, the ones that you think voted for you, don't like you. Your little red counties all over the country are being fed misinformation and being fed information to protect pedophilia by Nicki Minaj, the Trump administration, and all these people who know what they do behind closed doors. It's sickening. It's gross. It's conniving. There's much happening behind the scenes, but trust and believe. Come 2026, when those checks and balances hit, we are going to be finding out much more, and we will be seeing handcuffs. That's what we'll be seeing. Speaking of handcuffs, the Epstein files were also released. The Department of Justice has now released tens of thousands of Epstein-related documents, and hundreds of pages are literally just blacked out. Some of the files include new photos and internal emails referencing Trump's flights and allegations. Lawmakers on both sides are now furious with the heavy redactions and the slow drip of releases. So you all know, and we talked about this on a podcast before, that there was an Epstein file Transparency Act that was signed by the president. And now the responsibility falls into the Department of Justice. And what we are aware, as we talked about previously on the podcast, is that Pam Bondi has been working overtime throughout the year and months to make sure that she is protecting whoever she needs to protect in these files to secure her job and to kiss up to that orange man in chief. Now, what we also know is that the political weaponization of the selective disclosure of these files is something that this administration is going to try to use to their best ability to stay consistent so they can win midterms. But guess what? The American public is already aware of what you all are doing. Whether you want to change the narrative or not, there's plenty of people that did not vote in 2024 for that are going to definitely vote in the midterms because we are tired. Americans are tired of living paycheck to paycheck, most importantly, but we're also tired of people playing in our face and releasing information that has something to do with children. Innocent children being sexually assaulted, raped, and not receiving justice does not sit well with majority of the country. Now, if you all remember, MAGA actually ran on the Epstein files and wanting there to be disclosure. That's why we have Marjorie Taylor Greene leaving the administration and several other Republicans signing on to make sure that this act was passed. So what does that mean for us? Well, for Americans, that means we have to sit tight and figure out what this is going to look like. But what this means going into 2026, there might be more turnover than expected. A record number of lawmakers are not returning in 2026. So that's more than 10% of Congress who has already announced that they're out. 54 members and counting. That includes longtimers like Pelosi and McConnell, Mitch McConnell, plus figures like Marjorie Taylor Greene that we talked about. So with the shift in politics and the shift in dynamics, we're going to see a lot of turnover and a lot of changes. That means we're going to be making room for newer politicians and new ideas. And hopefully it won't be the extremism from the cult that's on the right. Now, in regards to the Epstein files, there were several photos that were released where Bill Clinton was seen alongside Michael Jackson, Diana Ross, and a few others. Clinton's spokesperson publicly called out the Department of Justice to release every Epstein-related document referencing him. He was arguing that the selective releases create insinuations against people who have been repeatedly cleared. So Clinton is trying to get ahead of this narrative with these photos, but also that speaks volumes to the innocence. The irony of the former president demanding transparency from the Department of Justice run by Trump. How does this fuel the broader conversation? I think it does because we don't see Trump anywhere. Everything with Trump is redacted. Everything that is referencing Trump is left to a minimum. I think right now his name is only mentioned 1,000 times compared to the 30,000+ times of what they have in the redacted files. So in the new year, we'll be staying on this because, in my opinion, Pam Bondi is going to jail. Kash Patel is going to jail. And everyone around Donald Trump is going to jail. I don't know if Donald Trump will be going to jail or J.D. Vance because they can try to find their loopholes and their cult is still live and active and making sure they're doing their thing. But Pam Bondi, girl, this is not that serious. Either you resign, baby, or you will face the consequences. I'm telling you right now, you will not have a job. I hope that political tea really got to y'all because I had a lot to talk about.